holds the world.
Hello, welcome to the stream. How's everyone doing? It's a Sunday. I never stream on a Sunday, and there's no real reason that I am, other than that it felt like a good day to do it. Content ID, not on Twitch. Sometimes it depends. People on YouTube get dinged harder, but it does happen on Twitch. Like VODs get paused and stuff like that. But that's okay, because I record my VODs separately. Anyway. back to copyright-free music. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing this Sunday? For me, Sunday afternoon-ish. For people in Europe, it's Sunday evening, and for people in Australia, they haven't even woken up yet. Doing well? Hell yeah. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. God, I've already forgotten. It's okay. Doing your mom. I mean, good. True. I mean, they're not mutually exclusive. Some would say they're intertwined, those two concepts, but glad to hear it, Flegs3. OMG, our god is in live. I am in live. Welcome to the stream. Seems like there's a lot of new people today. I guess because it's a weekend, and oftentimes people don't have time on in the middle of the weekday to watch streams, which I totally get. People have actual work. They're actual contributing members to society, unlike me. You can call me Flegs without 3. What if I want to differentiate you from Flegs 1 and 2? It's 5 in the morning here in Korea. Oof. My god, that's even earlier than it would be in Australia, isn't it? Because it's west. My god, holy shit. Actual sub badges when? That's a good point. I don't know why I haven't made any yet. They'd probably just be like different colors of KC. I'm not very creative, is the thing. When I actually have to like come up with ideas, I'm like, damn it. Imagine working like unironically Lamau. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't do it. I turned 18 and they were like, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I'm like, nothing. And they were like, you can't do nothing. And I'm like, just watch me try. And that's why I became a YouTuber. That's my origin story. 2110 here. I use 24-hour clock, Chad. Honestly, we really ought to use 24-hour time. I missed an eBay auction just a couple days ago because I typed in, I use my phone alarm to make sure I don't miss the end. So I put in like 12:33 into my phone, and it was only 2 hours after the auction ended that I realized not only did my alarm not go off, it's because I set it for AM instead of PM. And I was like, fuck, that's like it's like the most amateur mistake you can make, but also one that you really ought to catch. But it's a mistake I wouldn't have made if we were on 24-hour time, so it do be like that. Fun fact, the KC stands for Matt isn't creative. I mean, it is true that green is my favorite color, and that green is not a creative color, so it kind of fits, I'm afraid. Catching the stream before I start work, lol. Are you in, oh yeah, Australia, yeah, you just said. 6:10 AM, my god. Yeah, I sympathize for my Australian brothers that they can't, that I stream at times that are not particularly convenient. I'd like to stream at like mornings and evenings to try to catch all the time zones, but I haven't really nailed down a timetable that I think I can like stick with. I don't want to announce a timetable and be like, oops, I don't feel like it. So I want to at least try. I use Matt KC clock format. What would that be? Would that be the clock format used on Matt KC OS, the hypothetical OS that doesn't exist that we talked about last stream? The thing is, if I made an OS, it would probably be like a Linux distro, like Hannah Montana Linux. Whoa! Are we running at 30 FPS, brief and occasionally 29? Thanks for letting me know what FPS we're running at. And also, don't forget to activate your Matt KC. If you're pirating Matt KC, I'll know, and I will find you. I have North Korean ninjas at my disposal. Actually, the North Korean ninjas are coming after me. If they're coming after anyone, it's me. I gotta activate my Matt KC. That's right, I'm calling the police! Ah, yes, excellent. Like every good YouTube video. Also, I don't know how many people know about this, but if you sub or make bits, produce bits, I have the one, the only... Oh, shit. There we go.
It is I, the one and only Microsoft Samuel.
Excellent. Didn't you have a message for subs? I have Microsoft Sam. If it hasn't shown, you might not have done the like thing that shares the streak or whatever. It's kind of weird. I've noticed that on Twitch that like sometimes it doesn't do the notification if you just sub. You have to do that like, let everyone know it's been this many months. Yeah, reload your page and you'll get an option to share it. That's the one. Yay, thanks for the sub. Oh, what the hell? I still don't have any name. It just says subscribed. That's cringe. But thank you so much for the sub with the Bezos bucks. Remember, it is always morally correct if you have Amazon Prime. It is always morally correct to make sure those extra few dollars don't go to Jeff Bezos and instead go to your favorite streamer or me. Either or. I'm currently trying to make a 3DS homebrew of Matt KC to watch your Twitch live on my new 2DS XL. Is that possible? Can you watch Twitch on a 3DS or a new 2DS XL in this case? That's pretty hype. Isn't the... I remember my friend had a modded 3DS. I've never had a 3DS. And he kept complaining that the Game Boy emulators were slow on it. So I always thought it was like, well, I guess it can't do that much. But if it can play Twitch streams, that's pretty impressive. Your favorite streamer, that's the same outcome. You're flattering me. Thank you. But thanks for lying. No, I'm just kidding. I appreciate that. There was a YouTube client, never heard of a Twitch one though. That's cool. What kind of resolutions do you get on the 3DS? Do you get anything better than 320 by 240? My cables are all weird. That's why I can't get my microphone as close as I want it to be. They're like, it's like wrapped around a bunch of stuff. Okay, that's better. If you can run N64 games on a 3DS, there's no way you can't watch Twitch on one as well. You'd think that, but modern video compression is pretty like, it's a pretty heavy thing. Like PS1s, the PS1 CPU is not powerful enough to play MP3 audio. It's not powerful enough to decode it in real time, which is wild because you think of like all the cool things that a PS1 can do. You think of the kinds of games you can play. You're like, really? It can't do a fucking MP3? Third tube for 3DS? Oh, weird. Interesting. Yeah, I have such little like knowledge of anything 3DS because for some reason I never really got into portables after I had a Game Boy Color growing up. And I remember I begged my parents for a Game Boy Advance because that's what all my friends had at the time. They were all playing Gen 3 Pokemon on their Game Boy Advance, and I begged them for a Game Boy Advance, but I never got one. So, and I think that just like after that, I never got into DS or 3DS or was there any others? I mean, the Switch now technically, but like that's not retro. But what happened to the first and second tubes? I know. Am I going to get spoiled on tube number 3 if I haven't seen the first two? What's your PC specs? I think it's an 11900K Intel, 32 gig RAM. I've got like I think it's a 2 terabyte SSD. There's I have a file server. I have a NAS where I store most of the important stuff, and then just a single SSD that's actually in my computer. Problem isn't really accessing the video, but more like handling the SSL certificates, decoding the video, formatting the audio with AAC, and so on. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's we take for granted, I think, nowadays that how heavy video and audio codecs can be. Like, I still know that I still have computers that can't do H.265, and like they're old, but they're not as old as you'd think. So yeah. POV. Matt pulls up his settings about section to see. I could. I think I didn't like. I don't think I got anything wrong, so I probably won't. Daily drives on iMac G3. He uses this one just for streaming. True. Isn't there a video where someone streams from an iMac G3? Or I think there is. I think they like use FFmpeg to do it. I actually did. When I was a kid, I daily drove an iMac G3. I thought it was 2008, so the iMac was already almost 10 years old. But I felt like I was really cool because I was like, yeah, this computer's sick, and it was only like $50, and it runs the latest Mac OS, and I can play YouTube videos in 240p. I'm awesome. But all my friends, like, as soon as you started to, like, if you wanted to play any games on it, well, actually, you could play Quake. sure, it was a 12-year-old game by that by that point, and all my friends were playing GTA. But I could do it. I could do Quake. Picked up an old MacBook for $30 yesterday, and it works surprisingly well. Hell yeah! I have always wanted a one of those black MacBooks. I know that they get covered in fingerprints, but one of these ones. Wow. Thanks OBS. It's here we go. One of these, the nice slick black that, hang on, which one's which? Because some of these might be prototypes. Yeah, this one. You can tell because it's an old 2007 photo. Yeah, I always liked that one, but I never got one. Nowadays they're probably pretty cheap. It could run macOS 10.6. My iMac G3, absolutely not. It could not run. It couldn't even run Leopard because that's a G4 minimum, isn't it? I think some people. Oh, maybe not on the iMac. Some people upgrade G3s to G4s and then they run Leopard. I've heard of that happening, but I don't know if you can do that. I feel like it'd be really hard to do that on the G3 because it's soldered in. I dyed my hair black for that MacBook. My hair was blown before this shit. I dyed that shit black. You know why? Because 2007 MacBook. 2007 MacBook. What phone do you use? I am a Pixel man. I tend to feel and I know that this will probably piss people off, I tend to feel I'd only ever go with an iPhone or a Pixel. I feel I don't trust most other Android OEMs. I don't trust them to not fuck around with the OS and not install bloatware or not only support it for a year or something like that. So between iOS and Android, I think for the most part you can't go wrong. I prefer Android though because it's a bit more customizable. It's a bit less restrictive. So yeah. I was watching a clip on the More Matt Casey channel. I got a notification they were streaming. Hell yeah. Yeah, I guess they are kind of interlinked, those two channels. Because it's mostly... It is, yeah, it's mostly stream content. If the idea is that I could also put up just smaller stuff that wouldn't necessarily fit on the main channel, but so far it's been all stream content. Matt Casey, The Black Eyeshadow Chronicles. My eyes were blonde before this shit. I dyed those eyes black. You know why? Because black MacBook. It's still funny. I'm still making this joke. Samsung and OnePlus are shite these days. They used to be so good. That's interesting. I've never had a OnePlus. To be perfectly honest, I never really liked Samsung. I had one Samsung phone, but I didn't really love it. I did have before Pixels existed, I had a Galaxy Nexus, which is technically a Samsung, but Samsung was just kind of the manufacturer for what was actually a Google phone. That phone was really good though. Too used to iPhones to switch at this point? Yeah, I mean, pretty much. You also get used to the OS. So, and that's I think that's how most people make the decision of what they're going to upgrade to is just they want something that's a little bit better, but not ridiculously different. Yeah. What happened to your music channel? Nothing happened to it. I just don't have a lot of time nowadays. I've been looking at doing more music though. I recently backlight modded my Advance and now the D-pad is unresponsive. I probably placed it in a wacky way. Damn, that sucks. I'm sure you can fix it though. That sounds like something that could be fixable. Backlight mods are really cool though. I remember I did that Game Boy Pocket backlight mod and that was a lot of fun. Well, hey, at least to get that Pixel, you don't have to make an appointment at the Fapple store. That's true. Yeah, I actually, I briefly used an iPhone last year, and Magical Fee was there when I bought it. And it was one of the most surreal things because I went to an actual Apple store and I showed up, and I thought it would work like a store does, where you show up, you say, "Hey, can I buy this?" And they're like, "Certainly, sir," and they give it to you, and you exchange money for goods and services. Instead, they were like, "Oh, okay, we can put you down for an appointment at maybe 2 hours from now." And I was like, "Oh, all right, sure." So they put me down. I went and picked up Magical Fee. We went and got lunch, and halfway through lunch, I had to be like, "Oh shit, it's the appointment. It's my legally designated time that I'm allowed to go to the Apple store." And I did, I bought it, but yeah, it was a very surreal experience. And then shortly afterwards, well, not shortly after, a few months later, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go back to Pixels. So the last few Nexus were horrible though. That's interesting. I never used the last few Nexus. I only used the Galaxy Nexus. My dad had the Nexus just after, I think the Nexus 4, if I want to say. But yeah. But I never. I was on iPhones for a couple years, from like 2015 to 2018. I was on the 6S, and then I had switched to the Pixel 1, and then last year I briefly had an iPhone, and then I switched back to a Pixel. What do you do with all your projects after you finish posting them on YouTube? Which ones? It depends a lot. I'd say 90 to 95% of them I keep. Like that Xbox HDMI thing, I still use that. Oftentimes, that's kind of how the videos come about, is because I want something, and I'm like, oh, here's something cheap and broken. Maybe that could make a good video. But it kind of, the initial motivation is that I actually want that thing. So usually when I'm finished with a video, usually I'll like keep it and use it. It's rare. There have been times where after the video I'll just like sell it, but that's rare. That's usually if I can't actually see myself using it. First I had a shitty Alcatel, and then I had an old Huawei version before USA ban, when Huawei's didn't have Google things. Now I have a Motorola. Interesting. Yeah, the Huawei stuff is pretty funny. Like, yeah, the whole USA ban. It's funny, like, TikTok almost got banned, but they like just slid under the ban hammer. Huawei, on the other hand, did not. Get a freedom phone for the memes. God, how much are they? I don't know. Is it worth it just for memes? Nexus 4 is base. That shit can keep up with Galaxy S4 for almost half the price. Hell yeah. Yeah, it seemed like a good one. Like, he had it for a long time until it, eventually he had to upgrade it. But yeah, it seemed good. What do you do with the other 10 to 5%? Let me actually look at my videos. Should I leak on stream the fate of every single one of my projects? What do you think? Oh, I'm on my channel, and Lego Island music started playing. Fucking freedom phone, I forgot about that. Me too. I haven't heard anyone talk about it for so long. Went from 4S to 5S to 6 to 8 to 12. Makes sense. I mean, that's like relatively even year intervals. Should I leak on stream? Bro, I'm always leaking. Alright, let's have a look. Yes. Alright, Halo, I mean, that's not a hardware project, not a hardware project. None of these are hardware projects. Xbox, I still use the Xbox. Exodus cartridge, I bought the Exodus cartridge for this, nice preview, YouTube. For this video, but I still have it because it's just kind of fun to have. HDMI Xbox, again, still have that. Cloner Alliance, I do still have that. I actually used that for some of the VGA footage in my iMac G3 video, because it's one of it for a time it was my only VGA capture device. Then I had to get a second one. Not a second one of these, because these are expensive, but I got just like a cheapish VGA to HDMI so that I could capture both the G3 and G4 at the same time. PS2, I still have that. Guitar Hero controller, still have that. Game Boy Pocket, still have that. Xbox, PS2, still have that. Still have the GameCube, still have that. These headphones are these ones, using them right now. Still have the Wii U. Wii U is actually right here. So yeah, vast majority of this stuff is like stuff that I end up using or keeping. Let's see, there were 3 in this one. There was the iMacs. I sold those, the like Intel iMacs. The G3 iMac is still falling apart. That's in Australia. I don't have that, but it's mine still, but I don't have that with me. Genesis still have. Dead LCD monitor, that was my friend's. $1 Wii still have. This iMac, like I said, it was sold. 360 controllers I still have. Lego Island I still have. The Ultimate 98 PC, I did sell that which is a little bit heartbreaking, but I just couldn't really see myself using it. Like, it was an interesting technological experiment, but the fact is it didn't work very well. And I didn't really have any more patience to try to get it to work well anymore. So yeah, I ended up selling most of the parts of that. Where's the content? With the O face, hell yeah. Game Boy Color, that was a friend's. Ultimate N64 power adapter. I don't actually use that anymore because I'm like working on updating it, the power adapter. Yeah, but pretty much like, I could even say it's probably even more than 95% of this stuff is stuff that I still have or still use. It's really, I think the only thing on here that was like, I definitely don't have that is the Ultimate 98 PC and the iMacs, the Intel iMacs. I still have the G3 iMacs. So, I hope that was interesting and enlightening. You have YouTube Premium? Yeah, I figure that mostly it's because I know that people are just like, just use AdBlock, but I don't, I'm not a big AdBlock user just because I rely on YouTube, or I rely on ad revenue for most of my income, and it seems a little bit hypocritical. And I know for a fact that people on YouTube make more from people with premium than they do from just ad revenue. So it's largely just a way of like supporting people that I watch and people that I like. The Kit Kat video thumbnail, hell yeah. The one time I made YouTube thumbnail face. Do you still have the Kit Kats from Japan, Matt? No, I ate all of those. The fact is, when I did that video, it was like, I'd already had them for like 6 months, and I looked at the back and I realized these things are going to expire soon. Like, the best before date was going to be August, and it was already May. And so I was like, okay, I really got to film this video. So, you should build the ultimate Temple OS PC. Doesn't Temple OS run on anything? Or is there like, are there any actually things that require high performance? That eBay VGA adapter? Oh yeah. I don't know why I'm coughing so much. Last night I was having like allergies, so I think I'm phlegmier than usual. You're welcome for that visual. The eBay VGA adapter, that's a good question actually. That one I don't have anymore. But not because it didn't work well. I maintain that it worked a lot better than I expected. Mostly because I just didn't actually use it as much as I thought I would. Like, once I had proper CRTs, I just used those instead. building and fixing all those things you still use must be so self-fulfilling. It is. It's very satisfying. It's kind of that's kind of what one of the big motivations of making videos like that. Like, funnily enough, oftentimes those repair videos don't do as well as like the software videos or the modding videos. But the reason I like doing them is because I usually get something out of it at the end. I respect you for using premium. I appreciate that. I mean, I also use Twitch Turbo for a similar reason. Though I've also heard people say that Turbo actually might be losing Twitch money because they might actually make more off ads than they do off Turbo, which is not how it's supposed to work. I know for a fact that on YouTube, per viewer, you make more if they have premium than if they don't. But I've heard that that's not the case on Turbo, that you buy Turbo, you get no ads, and Twitch gets less money, / the creators you watch get less money, which seems completely backwards. But like, why would I? Well, I mean, I guess the point of Turbo is no ads, not necessarily that I might be taking an unusually philanthropic viewpoint of it. Speaking of proper CRTs, I found a perfect CRT with inputs I would use on eBay, and now it's sold, so there goes another chance. Damn. I remember when I still lived in Australia, I lived in kind of a small-ish town. Well, I lived in a city that was kind of half small town, half city, and that so when you think of a small town, you expect that like things are going to be cheap and things are going to be they're going to be less collectors driving up price and stuff like that, but it was actually quite the opposite. It was actually everything was like all the retro stuff was actually really expensive. So anytime a TV was listed on like Gumtree or something like that, I remember you'd have to get in so quick. That shit would get snapped up within the hour. Like, someone would put up a Trinitron and it could be like 48 minutes old, and I'd send a message and be like, hey, is this still available? And they'd be like, sorry, someone's already coming. And I was like, damn it. It was so quick. You had to be so unbelievably fast to get a CRT well, it's not really doxing. In Canberra, that's where I used to live. Premium, more like creamulum. True. Buy premium with Indian VPN. Why would I do that? What happens if you VPN to India? When are you gonna hard off again? I'd love to. Like, I haven't because, well, next time I go to Japan, basically. But I haven't and Japan is open for tourism again, which is cool. But I don't really have a plan at the moment. I don't know what would be a good time. I feel like now that I pay rent, it's like hard to justify going on vacation. I used to still live at home with my parents, but now that I don't, and when you live with your parents and you don't have to worry too much about like living expenses, then you just have you can kind of look at your bank account and say, I have this much money. Oh, I could go on vacation, and you're like, cool. Nowadays, I'm just kind of like, if I have money in my bank account, I'm like, ooh, better hold on to that. I don't know if might need that, when everything goes to shit. So I haven't felt like I can justify a big trip recently. There's actually a retro game store pretty close to me, and that place is fucking stacked. Oh, hell yeah. I couldn't... I struggled to find any retro stuff in Canberra. I can send a picture on Discord? Oh, hell yeah. Send a picture on Discord. Wow, didn't expect Canberra. Mount Kosciuszko is a 3-hour drive. It is. Well, it's it can be a 2.5-hour drive. But yeah, it's not. I mean, it's close in the sense that it's driving distance. It's not like driving 12 hours or anything like that. But yeah, it did take a bit. All right, here's what we're looking at. My God. Oh, and Japanese Super Famicoms. Are you actually in Japan? Because a lot of this stuff is Japanese. Oh, actually, no. This could be a European one. I forgot that that Europe got the same design as Japan. I forgot. My bad. Don't crucify me. UK. Oh, okay, cool. UK. Hell yeah. No, I haven't seen anything like this since the last time I went to Japan, really. It's a great place for retro games. But yeah, no, I haven't. I'd love to go sometime soon. Other off stores include, as I recall, Jack Off and most importantly, Rip Off. That's from the YTP of me. I remember that. You know you've made it. You know you've made it on YouTube when CS188 makes a YTP of you. Honestly, that was one of like the top 1 moments of my YouTube career. Did you have a Game Traders where you lived? I probably did. We had use like secondhand game stores, but they were usually quite small and very expensive. Like $150 for an N64, and I'm just like, I don't know. I could spend like $30 in some parts of the world and get one on eBay. So I live in Romania, and there are a lot of garage sales. I bought a Wii with 5. Hell, my God. That's interesting. I should probably peruse more garage sales. The thing is, I don't go outside very often because I'm kind of a loser. But I feel like there probably are like really good deals at garage sales. I mean, that's usually how you get a reasonably priced CRT is when someone is clearing out their garage and they like put it on Facebook Marketplace for like $2. I went to Super Potato in Akihabara, but that's about it. Super Potato is pretty good. The one in Akihabara is pretty small, and it's a bit normie, so like you don't get the best deals there. The best deals I did get were Hard Off, and that was kind of Hard Off is one of those places where because there's one in Akihabara as well, but that also is kind of small and there's not a lot there. If you want like really good stuff, you gotta go like out of the city. You gotta take the train or the subway like an hour out of Osaka, and that's the Hard Off that I went to that had all the good stuff. Matt Casey admits he doesn't touch grass. Quick to the Twitter. Thankfully I am. I'm not as bad as some grass untouchers, but but I probably should go outside more for my own mental health. There's also a convention every year in Philly that's good for retro game stuff called Too Many Games. I've gotten some neat shit from there before. I am aware of that one. I know that like AVGN shows up there pretty often because he lives in Philly. So I'd love to go. I'd love to. Also, I feel like I haven't spent a lot of time on the East Coast, and I'd enjoy exploring more of that area. Convert the 5. I don't even know how to say that. Is that lei? It's about $1. My God. Well, looks like there's more than one place you can get a $1 Wii, which is great. My hometown had a game store that charged €50 for a used PS2 game. Ugh. Yeah, I that's kind of what it was like when where I used to be, and that's one of the things that always annoyed me was that it was like anything that had any value whatsoever was jacked the hell up. It was like $100 $200 for a Dreamcast or something like that, and I'm just like, I'm not spending that much. I would go outside more if there was something to do. True, it is true. Like to an extent, I have an excuse, which is that most of my work is at home. I'm technically work from home, so if I go outside, I'm technically being unproductive. But I maintain that I think it's probably good for my mental health. Not as good as some grass not touches. Yeah, like me. Nah. That you're all good. There are some people out there that certainly that are certainly ungrass touches. Haven't been in years, but dude, we should totally meet up at Too Many Games next year. I'm down. Totally be down. I also need to go to like Portland Retro Gaming Expo because that's like technically close by. Most game stores in Saudi Arabia are kind of small, expensive, and they all have the same ass name. Most of them are called that, which means pirate. Interesting. So they have like a bunch of pirated. They have like bootleg Pokemon games there because that's kind of hilarious. I'd go to a place that sold bootleg Pokemon games. My home state has no retro game stores at all, other than one, which is 4 goddamn hours away, and is open like 2 days a week, and a GameStop. So, oof, yeah, that sucks. Matt Casey admitting he doesn't work. Quick to the Twitter. Damn it, I'm already getting cancelled. I'm only like a few weeks into streaming on Twitch, and I'm already getting cancelled. I can't believe this. How could this happen to me? Not gonna lie, I'd be down for Portland too, since I've never been to Portland. Hell yeah. I'm gonna go to all the conventions next year. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. My uncle got arrested in Saudi. Was it for like was he doing crime? Or was it something else? If only I'd paid $8 a month for the blue checkmark, this wouldn't have happened. True. I actually tried to get this was months ago, so this is not related to any of the recent Twitter stuff, but I actually there's a form you can fill out on Twitter to like request that verification checkmark, and I went through the pages and I was like, this is my account, and there's like a box that says what basically why are you a notable person, and I picked something like entertainer or notable personality or something like that, you know, something very pretentious, and I clicked next, and it straight up just said you don't have the amount of followers to qualify for this category. So basically Twitter was like, you an entertainer? Pfft, I've never heard of you, so that's why I don't have a check mark. They were like, who mega lol? Just watch the YTP and I'm 100% unsatisfied. Me too, I was also 100% unsatisfied. If un means yes. Hey dude, welcome to the stream. Juxtapose. Ah, that's clever. How's it going? You can't still buy bootleg modded versions of GTA San Andreas here in Brazil. GTA Sonic? I've actually never heard of this. What is that? You guys ever seen this? Hang on, what's this? What are you sending me in my Christian Twitch chat? That a 360 booth? I know that some people, there's like old Xbox booths, and some people like collect them because it's like funny. It's funny to have that in your own home. Oh, I'm still like, there's still some like allergic residue from last night. This is why you don't have allergies. When you're a kid and the allergies start affecting you, you just say no, and then you won't be like me. And you won't have like nose troubles well into your adulthood. those 360 controllers were probably touched by someone who sneezed on it before wiping their ass and playing LOL. True. People can be surprisingly unhygienic, unfortunately. Wow, you actually got the name right. Yeah, it's not as how many times do people not get that right? I felt like it took a few seconds, but I eventually got it. There are a lot of copied PS2 discs that had Arabic text, but most of them are now just overpriced PS4 games. Really? That's interesting. Speaking of places, I mean, we were kind of speaking of places. They're like conventions. Because I've realized that something that I really like doing is programming with like some fresh air and a nice view, and that's like just a nice time for everyone. And when I made that realization, I understood why Game Hut lives in Malibu. Because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you sit down and program with a nice view if you could? And so I looked at bust out GeoGuessr. No, not yet. Possibly not even today. I feel like we've done a lot of GeoGuessr, and we shouldn't wear out its welcome. Check this out. So, who here knows who Game Hut is? I'm sure you know who Game Hut is, because he makes content very similar to mine about retro games and stuff like that. Apparently, this is his. He's selling his big house in Malibu, and there's this article about it. And I'm like, man, how much would it take me to get a programming house in Malibu? Do you guys want to find out? Let's look at Malibu real estate. So what do we get here? This is an actual house. Oh, hang on. I need to get the chat in like a place that I can see it. You know what? This is already lower than I thought it would be. It's like, let's keep in mind, I'm not in a position to afford anything like that. But like, there's a lot of houses in major cities are more than that. To be fair, it's also a relatively small place. This is like 848. That's like about the size of my apartment, which is not huge, as you can see by the long couch that dwarfs the entire room. So that's not bad. I mean, it's small, but you do have a like ridiculously nice view. You are actually on the ocean. Are you even on like land? There's no where. What is the house actually sitting on? Don't complain about the size when you got those views. It's true. The YouTube numbers is all that matters. See, this is more what I was expecting. $2.5 million. That is a lot more space though. Like, wait, 800 square feet. Hang on, no, 640 divided by 800, 8.3. So you get over 8 times as much space. But you're not paying 8 times as much. It's a significantly better value per square foot, despite being a shitload of money. Oh, the view of the bay. That view, that makes more sense. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Technically, you have the whole ocean out in front of you. Fuck freedom units. Yeah, you're right. You're right. If only these were square meters. Bro, simply live in a car. You can travel anywhere. You're not wrong. Though there are, around me, there are cities that make it illegal to sleep in a car. Like, and I don't know how they enforce that. Do like cops come around and they're like, knock on your window and like, hey, no sleeping. Though they wouldn't say it in that accent, I guess. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Now this is a bit more in my budget. Let's see what we get here. You get 6 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms, which is a good, I guess, if you need a lot of people to shit at once. How much of this is the house? So I assume this is all one building. Is this the same building or is it just one building? What does it mean, co-ownership home? Does it say that on here, or did it say that? Oh, here, co-ownership home. What does that mean? Wait, you only own 1/8 of it? What? What? Why do you only own 1/8? Which eighth? What? Which is my eighth if I spend $2.5 million? This is like when you get a Tinder match where the person is only ever in group photos. Yeah, you're like, well, which one is the one I'm getting? Okay, this is literally that though. This is a group photo. Okay, seriously. Which eighth of which building do I get for $2.5 million? You probably split up the time. I see. Still, for $2.5 million? Hang on, let me... Oh, maybe it's like, you might be right. Maybe it's like supposed to be a beach house, like, or like a vacation house. You go there on the weekends when you're like, when your tremendously lucrative job is not, when you're not doing that. To share ownership, you'll need to decide how you will take and hold title to the home. So that's kind of like saying, well, it's up to you. So you could still split it into like, this is your eighth and this is my eighth. But yeah, most of the time you would probably split it up into like, I have it some of the time. Oh, I guess you have this middle one. I mean, she's not a looker, is she? Is it just me? Am I wrong? Is this like not a very pretty home? I mean, I guess this part is kind of nice, but from the street level, it's kind of like, it's like I'm gonna shoot up some heroin. It looks okay. You gonna buy that 20 million one? Okay, yeah, which one's the 20 million one? That's a good question. It's always really funny when you see like a real estate photo and it looks really fucking fake. Like, I'm 99% sure that the view out of these windows has been like photoshopped in, right? Also, it does seem to imply that the house is sitting on the sand, which I feel like it's not. I feel like that can't be right. These are all stock photos, like there's no way. Yeah, either that or they really just poorly photoshopped. My god, they got a whole gym. And wait, is this a recording studio? Yo, about to work on my next mixtape. All I need is a $20 million home, and then I can do it. Can you imagine that? You buy a house and it comes with a recording studio? That TV was quite small for such an expensive house. Oh shit, you're right. Yeah, well, it implies that I need all these drawers, which maybe I do, because maybe I need to store like all my game consoles in the drawers. And then instead of this TV, I need to put like a 12-inch Trinitron in there. So maybe this would work out, you know? Breaking news. Owner of popular website BillGates.sex purchases a $20 million house after his website becomes a huge hit. True. That is definitely happening. I feel like that's going to be... like, that's not even a maybe. That's just a given. Oh. Well, you thought $20 million was cheap? How about a $58 million house? Keep in mind, a lot of movies cost, like, about this much. So you could fund a movie, or you could get this house. It's up to you which one is better value. This is a hello from a fellow Australian citizen who is unfortunately also Asian. Hey, there's nothing unfortunate about being Asian. Welcome to the stream. Dude, it's Hassan's house. True. Also, I love how they've got all this, like... Do you think that's fake grass, or do you think they're just watering, like, this section, and then they're, they're like, walling off the rest of the land so it doesn't get any water? It must be fake grass, right? It must be AstroTurf. Which, by the way... it's kind of hilarious how the like contrast between like California land, California desert, and nope, we're rich, so we have AstroTurf. Why does that house look like a 4D pool? It actually kind of does. Like, they filled the entire house with water, I'm pretty sure. It's actually a human aquarium. You just like dive in for $60 million, and you just chill inside a huge tank. But I thought having mildly socialist views meant no house. True. Based and true. Okay, hold up. How expensive can we go? Let's do a sort by highest price. Alright, hold up. I mean, which eighth of this house do I get? Okay. What was the budget of Avengers Infinity War? Oh, it was actually more. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. You would need half of the Infinity War budget to pay for this house. Why do they have price high to low? It's a good question. Who's sitting around thinking, I really want the most expensive house. I really want a bad deal. 16 bedrooms and 22 bathrooms. Yo, I could invite all of my friends and they could all shit at the same time. And I could clone all of my friends because I don't actually have 22 friends. And all of them could shit as well. Fantastic. $200 million co-ownership. Wait, what house? Wait, what? Hang on. There must be a way to like list the MCU films by budget, right? There must be a way. Films. Oh, it doesn't actually have the budget. I want the budget. I want to know what movie this is equivalent to. Okay, here we go. Wow, actually pretty spot on with the first Avengers film. 225? Yeah. Alright, so this is unadjusted for inflation, keep that in mind. But you could pay for one entire The Avengers or this 16-bedroom house. Alright, what do we get? What do we get? Me and the boys all taking a shit. I mean, why else would you buy a house like this, apart from to all simultaneously take a shit? You better make sure you're on the Discord call while you're shitting, just to make sure you're all doing it. I swear what you're looking at aren't houses, they're entire hotels. It is true, like, what does a mere mortal do with all this space apart from like lease it out to other people? All right, what do we got? We've got a I'm sure this handcrafted pot and that's why it's very expensive, even though it's kind of lopsided. Well, I guess you can. Also, this would require a lot of maintenance. Let's not forget that like this shit, it would grow out of control. Like if you weren't like cutting it, like what's the word? Cutting it down like daily. Half the bedrooms are for the servants. Maybe the people that maintain this garden live on the property. I mean, you have the space, right? you get your own cinema. You too can watch a plane in the sky. I hope it's a 10-hour loop of a plane in the sky. And you have a bunch of posters on the side. It actually is like a little home cinema. Jesus Christ. Who buys this shit? The property taxes would be horrible. You're actually not wrong. I hadn't even thought about that. Wow. So this is what it looks like. Oh, I guess you can just walk down the stairs and you're on the beach. God damn. And now we're just in a completely different house altogether. Oh, keep in mind, if the beach isn't good enough for you, you also have your own body of water. You could swim in the beach, or you could swim in the, well, the specifically human-moderated pool. Who made this and who builds this? I actually don't know. Yo, should I take a tour just to waste a real estate agent's time? Just to be like, yeah, I'm interested. I'm a successful YouTuber. Check out my channel. And they'll be like, wow, this Halo video got like 150,000 views. Therefore, we're gonna take this guy seriously. And then I tour around the home. I'll check out all 22 bathrooms for you. And then at the end, I'll be like, psych. And they'll be like, damn it, fucking again. Take a tour. Today at 4 p.m. I could go now. I could do this now. Monthly cost $1 mil a month. To be fair, there are some people on OnlyFans that make $1 mil a month. Oh, here are those property taxes we were talking about. Almost 150,000 a month for property taxes. Hey, that's got to be great for the infrastructure of the state. Though, knowing rich people, I'm sure they find a way to waive that. Please go there. Do it. Can you imagine? It would probably be irresponsible to do this today. Unless I just brought Stream with me and I was like, here we go, we're gonna drive over to Malibu. But that would be so funny to just show up and be like, yo, what up? Show me the bathrooms. And then at the end, just be like, guess what? I actually can... My budget is actually maxed out at about a 1-bedroom apartment, so, sorry about that. Anyway. It's a life requirement. All 22 bathrooms and 16 bedrooms. I'll do it. Don't think I won't. That's a whole community? It actually kind of is, though. 22 people? Like, you could have people making food, and you could have people, like... What else does a society need? It actually is, though. You could have more than 22 people, because I'm sure some of them will like, bunk up with other people. You can have at least 22 people here, and make a little society. I would specifically request to see all 22 bathrooms and nothing else, and then just leave. Here's the real question. Do I need to... Do I need to like use every bathroom? Because then I might need to bring a lot of water with me. Because it would be. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty good idea to ensure that I actually use all 22. 22 people is like a small village. It is legit. And some people don't even have to sleep in the bedroom. Some people could just sleep like what do you call this room? It could just be more bedrooms. Only 16 people live there. 22 people shit there. Where did the other 6 people live? Oh, that's right. You're right. I was reading the bathroom figure still. So at least 16 bedrooms. I'm guessing the other 6 people, maybe they just live in the bathroom and they're like they have the most convenient shits of the people there. Everyone else can shit, but they have to like step into someone else's bedroom to do it because the bathrooms get the remaining 6 bathrooms get converted to bedrooms. Actually, no, there are 16 bathrooms for 16 people, and then the other 6 bathroom havers, I don't know where they're gonna be. Request a tour but don't show up. Just exclusively to troll the real estate agents. I mean, it's not a bad plan. They're the slaves. Yeah. They probably, that's true. They can shit and piss, but they gotta like sleep outside. They can sleep on these. Right? They can sleep by the pool. Like in the Karate Kid, they say in the start of the film, the mom says something like, in California, like, you roll out of your bed and you're in your pool. That could literally be the case for those remaining 6 people who don't have their own bedroom but still need to shit. I'm sure you could comfortably have a society of 30 people living there. It does seem like it. You could finally have a walkable neighborhood in America and it's just this one property. What is the cheapest crack house on here? That's a good question. All right, let's say I really want to move to Malibu, but I actually don't have a lot of money, which is technically my situation. Let's go. Well, you can buy a lot of land, as in. Does that count as being homeless? It's not technically homeless, is it? Because like you don't own a roof. To be homeless. Or to be homed, do you have to have a roof? Because you technically have a place to sleep, but you just don't have a roof. You own the address? Yeah. I've always wanted to spend $80,000 on a big red X. Yeah, I hope it comes with the X. If not, I don't know what I'm paying for. I'm guessing... Oops. Good enough. I'm guessing this, like... It's on a slope, and I know that slopes are hard to, like, build houses on. I'm guessing that, oh shit, oops. I might have just doxed myself by accident. Anyway. So, yeah, my point is this, like, slope is probably a lot, like, it's a lot more, like, extreme than it looks. I think it's this. Or is it... This pin is very, like... very unclear. That's not a good location. True. Anyway. So that's the cheapest lot of land you can get in in Malibu. All right, as for like actual houses, no, that's still a lot of land. but it's like you build this, right? You passed some? Did I? Oh! We've seen this one. I didn't know this. Did we? Yeah, we did. And this is another co-ownership home. I think that is the cheapest one, right? It comes with a 3D render though, so 650,000. Yeah, true. Most of these are 3D renders. Is this not is this a co-ownership again? That's a render? This one is. This one, is this a render? Oh, it's a condo. Right, it's an apartment. I get it. Anyway. Well, that was fun. That one is a render? Wait, hang on. There we go. Look at the shadows. Interesting. I didn't know that. That's wild. Alright, hold on. Just a really good render? Wow. That's crazy. It actually... I genuinely couldn't tell. Alright, hang on. I'm gonna do the mildly responsible thing, and I'm going to restart this part. BRB! Hello. I am back. fucking Google Maps every time. Send them bananas. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll take a banana. Okay, well. There we go. Anyway. Odd question, why did you switch from tracker music in videos to what you use now? So, there's kind of a story behind that. What happened was, what happened was, some of the trackers that I used, well, to be fair, all of the trackers I used were made by people, right? So they had like, so they had like copyright, right? Like, and depending on who made what and why and what license they put it under, some of them I may not have necessarily been licensed to use. And while probably most of them wouldn't have cared, and I know that at least one of the creators sent me an email saying, "Hey, I see that you use my song. Can you credit me in the description?" And I'm like, "Sure, absolutely." So kind of what I what I felt like was it was difficult to sort of justify using music that I didn't necessarily have a license for. So and I tried to like track down the licenses for a lot of the songs, but they were all from kind of different authors. So yeah, so I kind of eventually just decided to license music from one person, and that's what I use today. So it was really just a covering myself sort of thing, for covering myself in for like copyright related. Kind of funny. Yeah, it is kind of funny. It's always like it's always Google Maps. Thanks for the sub, Jackalata. Appreciate that. Also, my overlay still just says subscribed. I really should fix that at some point. One of these days. What do you think about Sony Trinitron CRT TVs? I mean, they're the cream of the crop usually. I mean, in some ways I think they're like I think that you can get perfectly fine CRTs without having to do without having to track down a Trinitron. There's like, especially the later CRTs from other people, they're all pretty like there are a lot of people that made decent CRTs that weren't Sony. So I think to some extent there's some like zealousness about it, that some unnecessary zeal, but generally, like, I think the popularity is the fact that if you have if you find a Sony TV, you know it's going to be good, right? Ones that use electrons are good, correct? Absolutely. Any updates on the CRTs from Alibaba? Yeah, there was an update in the last stream where basically yeah, what happened was they emailed me to say that like it was out of stock and told me to cancel the order, and so I basically did that. But I'm planning on putting out a video about the Alibaba CRTs. Oh yeah, but then someone in the Discord asked, and apparently they had loads, so who knows? Yeah, it might just be because I ordered. I said I wanted 2 of them, which would be very expensive for them to make just 2 of them, right? So, yeah. So I think that. I think that was their problem. Whereas if I said I wanted like 500 of them, then they might be like, oh, okay, we can probably fire up the production line that makes like to make 500 CRTs. We're not going to do it for 2 though. I swear I'm this close to buying a MacBook from Lithuania. Hell yeah. Why Lithuania though? Are they cheaper from Lithuania? Because it has a Lithuanian ion battery. True. Are we playing GeoGuessr or something else? I'm considering trying to play something else. I'm considering trying to play some Weemfi, which could be fun. That MacBook is probably lit. True. They're like $40 for a unibody polycarb, which is nothing. Interesting. Why are they cheaper in Lithuania? Is there like a reason? Hey, look, it's Matt KC, fixer of stuff and Lego Island player. That's me. It's a me, Matt KC. I try not to say that too often because it's kind of cringe, but it's very tempting to say. It's very tempting to be like, that's my slogan. GeoGuessr, please. We might play GeoGuessr in a later stream. Usually it's like, that's like a really common thing to. Usually I end almost all my streams with GeoGuessr, and I feel like I don't want it to become stale. So yeah, I'm thinking about firing up CTGP because I had my Wii U here. Tips on how to become productive, Matt. Currently procrastinating by watching this stream, Lamau. It depends what kind of productive. Like the biggest motivations I have are to. Like, it's because I'm like excited about a project, so that's often where my motivation to be productive comes from. If as far as forcing yourself to do something that you're not particularly interested in, I'm very bad at doing that. I'm very like, I'm very like, I don't know, ADHD about it. I'm procrastinating on uni work. Yeah, I mean that's exactly the kind of work that I'd be really bad at. In some classes I got some surprisingly low grades because because I just couldn't like stay focused on things. Shit, I have an ad. Oh, I guess the ads are I assume the ads are generally random. I've never had the experience of watching an ad on my own stream. I'm an MU pleb at uni, so I can't do custom tracks. True. Where does KC come from? It comes from Kansas City, where I'm from. No, it's my middle name. I have Mario Kart Wii set up on Dolphin, but I have a European ROM. Will that be a problem? Oh yeah. Yeah, if I put on CTGP, that'd need to be on a real console, because that's just kind of how it is. It does kind of bug me that CTGP disallows MU, given how easy it is to hack a Wii, doesn't it? Yeah, it wouldn't have been my decision to do that. I guess we could do like just regular Weemfi and do it in Dolphin, right? Matt's Kaleidoscope Company, that's a new one. Canned sausage. Yeah, canned with a K and sausage with a C. That's how. Today, I was gone for a while. Yeah, maybe. Maybe today. I was just thinking about it. Oh, I do have a I do have a NAND in Dolphin, so I could do I could just do Weemfi on the emulator. Oh, right. Trying to find my Mario Kart Wii ISO. 7-day wait period. I don't think they have that anymore, but I think they do require a NAND, like a real NAND dumped from a real Wii. Oof. This might be old. I could try it. Hang on. There we go. Yes. Yes. Alright. Yeah, we can try it. Oh god, I don't even have a... Oh, I do. This'll do. I was ready for GeoGuessr today. Maybe next time. Have you watched any anime lately? Not lately. I'm not a huge anime viewer. Alright, let's try setting up a controller in real time, live on stream. Yes? No, not that. Oh, okay. I have to set this up manually. I think. Matt, have you tried any obscure programming languages? I can't think of any. The most obscure one would probably be Delphi, but that's not very obscure. Most of the languages I've learned have been pretty, like, standard stuff. Correct. Good. Noisy Knuckles, thanks for subscribing with the Prime. Thanks for the Bezos bucks. Oh, weird. Is it like... Oh, there we go. I think this might be really old, though, in which case... Fortran? Never played Fortran. Also, apparently you don't have any, like... games on here. Oh, is it loud? Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay. Oh, these were the Miis that were on the Japanese Wii. Because that's what I'm using. Oh yeah, I muted the sound. My bad. Thanks for letting... Sorry. Sorry about that. Okay, it should be at a much more reasonable volume now. Yes. The classic. Yes, I need to... I don't even have I don't even know if this will work, because like I said, it's old. I think this is an old ISO, so I don't actually know if it's going to work. Barely audible. I could turn it up later, but this sound isn't very important. I guess so. I guess it has to, right? I have a feeling this might be old, in which case... in which case I might have to... Oh! I have to wait the 7 days? I feel like this is... I feel like they didn't have that anymore. And if I have to patch the game again, it might be worth leaving that till another day. Okay. If I have to... Do I have to... I assume by updating I'd have to patch the ISO again, right? If you can boot up CTGP, you can just play worldwide without custom tracks. Does that work with everyone? Because that might be a good idea. That might be a faster way to do it. Okay. Let's try that. I'll need to get another capture thingy. No, apparently you won't need CTGP, only I need CTGP. And it'll like work with regular Weemfi, I think. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, if anyone's got Weemfi, we should be able to do it. I just need to set up my capture. That is correct. Oh, damn it. I need to get an HDMI cable. All right. What a mess. Okay, here we go. That should work. Except it isn't? Oh. Might just not have been plugged in all the way. Well, here's what I'm seeing. If anyone's interested. It just says no signal. This is Hypercam and Bandicam at the same time. Unbelievable. Let me try restarting this. Hang on. Maybe that's not a bad thing. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. CTGP. All right. Well, it seems to be working so far. when next live stream? Probably sometime in the week. If it's Sunday, maybe like Wednesday or Thursday. It's working. We're getting there. I want to beat Matthew Killer Cleaner. True. Weird. I'm getting like... I'm getting some latency. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's see what what friend code I get, because that's how all this all works. And I guess I need to add audio. Is that? No. No, that's definitely not it. Oh, that's probably very loud. Okay. Huh. Okay, I think that works. But I can't hear it. And I'd like to be able to hear it. Okay. I think that's right. Matt, question for you. Do you know why back on older Windows had the sticky shift key? Press it 5 times fast for a window to pop up. I do know. I think that still happens on modern versions of Windows. The reason why, it's an accessibility feature. It's so that if you have trouble holding down like Control C or Control V, by turning on sticky keys, then you just press Control, you don't have to hold it down, and then you press C or V, and it'll be equivalent to a Control C or a Control V. So that's the point of it. So it's for people who might not be able to use keyboards like that. Great. Now what is the Australian doing? Are you talking about me? Alright, let's create a room. Well, that's my friend code, I suppose. Wait, how does this work? Matt, you didn't answer my question, Lamau. I probably didn't see it. How long have you been programming? I was quite surprised you weren't like a CS major or something. I've been programming for a long time, since like, I probably started when I was like 4 or 5. But yeah, no, I never went to university for it. Register with friends. Go into the friend roster. No, I need to register other people's friend codes, apparently. You don't have open friends on? How do I turn that on? Where is that? Is it in here, or do I have to go somewhere else? Also used to use sticky keys in conjunction with mouse keys to play RuneScape. Oh, really? Interesting. It's on the website. Hang on. So I need open friends. I don't know what any of this means. If you don't want to bother, we can all just put friend codes in chat. It'll just be a fast to add them all. Yeah, it seems like a pain. I feel like I don't want to do that. Programming since 5 years old. I barely knew how to tie my shoes back then. Same, but for some reason I was interested in like making stuff. My Wii is just refusing to connect to the internet. Damn, that sucks. Username. Oh god, I don't even know if I have a username. Yeah, I might have to register. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should just do this off stream and we could just switch to GeoGuessr and then do it next time. Because I think this is going to take a... This feels like it's going to take a long time. So... Yeah, we'll try next stream. Alright, well... GeoGuessr it is. Alright. Unlucky. But next time. Sorry about that, anyone who was like setting it up. I didn't know there was going to be that much work involved. I remember my memory, because the last time I did anything like this was like 4 years ago. My recollection was that like you just created a room and then people just got in it, but like I guess that has changed and I'll have to like figure that out. All right. Time to guess some geos. Let's go. This guy here seems pretty good. I'll take a look at that post-stream. Alright, so if you click this link, or type in !GeoGuessr in chat, you should get to the right page. Play again. I think that'll work. Alright, and we'll do this for a bit. Hi Matt, how are you? Welcome to the stream, Fran LMSP. We're just about to play some GeoGuessr. Feel free, if you want to play, click the link in chat. Currently, I am playing with Haha. In other news, the Astros won the World Series. Who? Which World Series? Yeah, I don't. Oh, it's a sport ball thing. Yeah, I don't pay attention to sport ball. You can't join. Hang on. Just to make sure. This is technically this room's link, right? I don't know if that will make a difference though. Oh, there you go. So there is a point to updating the command, it would seem. Well, alright. Hey, nice. Always amuses me that Americans call their events World Series, etc. when only they play them as if the US is the only country of the world. I think a lot of stuff is kind of named that way for the, as if the... I think that is, as arrogant as it sounds, I think that is kind of the actual attitude, is that it's is that the US is the only country in the world. Well, is there anyone else who wants to play? I'll put on a timer real quick. I'll make it a minute timer. And when that minute goes down, we will start playing. If you want to join, press !GeoGuessr or type that in chat. You don't press it. $35 people. You think everyone's gonna get into the game? This is a good group. But if anyone wants to join, there's 8 seconds to go. What happened to the red Wii from Japan? That I still have that. It's somewhere in storage at the moment. Okay. All right. Let us go. We're about to start. First time coming on stream, long time fan of the channel. Hell yeah, welcome to the stream. Hopefully we can get more of the 35 to join. That's okay. I think this is enough people to start, and if you want to join, we might play another one later. I don't want to play, I just want to give you misleading hints to make you lose. I mean, that's pretty effective. It does happen. Alright. What do we got? There's some steep roofs. So that makes me think it's probably a cool area or snowy area. But also pretty rural. Alright, I'm trying to find a sign. Any sign. Well, maybe a sign that has some words on it. Oh, finally. Okay, so we can rule out some places just by this. Because a lot of these countries don't put a squiggle on the z. For some reason, I want to say it's like this area, but I couldn't say with any certainty. Can't be Romanian? I don't know. I don't know. Can I trust anything that the chat says anymore? I remember when someone told me that Switzerland, the place we were in definitely didn't speak German, and then it was Switzerland. Well, whoever these people are, they chop a lot of wood. I don't feel like I'm getting any closer to civilization. Nope. I'm in fact not. Okay, to be fair, this is civilization. I shouldn't say it isn't. I'm just saying, there are not many signs around. And signs are my favorite way of identifying. Oh, look at the cars. That's not a bad idea. I mean, they'll probably blur out the license plates, which would be the best clue we had, but... Well, it's a Mazda, so it's a Japanese car, but that doesn't really say anything. South America? No. I don't think so. With no real reason to think so. Yeah, I didn't really find anything. Oh. We were talking about Lithuanian batteries just before. Ah, yeah, they do have the little squiggle over the sounds. South Carolina, true, correct. I found the .lt domain. Oh, interesting. Nope, I didn't find anything. I knew it had to, well, I knew it had to be like, I knew it was Europe, but I was thinking, yeah, I was thinking down here. I wasn't really thinking about up here, so. It is what it is. Korean, okay. Well, that probably means we're in Korea, but it could also mean we're just somewhere with a high Korean population. Nah, that's gotta be Korea. We're on a 15. Can I find a 15 anywhere? 15, okay. And is there anywhere a 15 and a 29 exist? $38. North Korea, if only. Oh, 15 and 29. It's got to be like right around here, right? Well, I guess we're not on 15. That's a turn into 15. So, all right. So I'm gonna put my pin down there, but if we might still find some clues that get us closer, such as. I don't know if I'll be able to find anything on here. It's behind my face. What, over here? I don't know. I don't see it. This is Pyongyang. Didn't you even play the game? I did, but it was a very poor tour of Pyongyang. It didn't tell me anything. It might be like up here somewhere, because I'm trying to find a way that it would be like turning left and you'd arrive at 15 and 29. Actually, no, this is not a bad idea. It's East Korea? I don't know. This is a pretty good, I feel like these are pretty good signs. You're just trying to trick me. You're trying to bamboozle me. Trying to make me guess the wrong geos. Oh, look. Well, no. We're not gonna get anything in time. Well, it could have been worse. 111 is not bad. Not bad. Let's go. Well, I think this is gonna be Europe. The roads are too narrow for it to be America. Alright, so that's a language. Hang on. I want to say this is Portuguese. Your computer crashed? Damn. Can you get back in? Okay, maybe with the if you click the link, can you get back in? My trick for Portuguese is always just it looks like Spanish, but it doesn't read like Spanish, which is not a very technical identification process. Really, what happens if you click the link? Does it like... I'm gonna try it. So if I open this same link in another tab, it does get me back in. But I don't know if that would be the same on your end. It's Spanish? I don't know. Look, the Dacia Sandero. Where? I don't see it. I might have just gone past it. Is that it? Wait. I can't even use the computer. Oh, I see. Are you trying to distract me with promises of Dacia? That's unfortunate, though. With your computer. Sorry, I bounced back and forth between two topics there. Well, I haven't really found any evidence suggesting any kind of city. I know it's a major city, so I'm just going to pick a major city in Portugal. I see. If this isn't Brazil, yeah, it could be Brazil. Which would be a big meme for me, because I have not picked somewhere close. Bienvenidos. I think that is Portuguese, but yeah, this still could be Brazil. Oh, but nosotros is a Spanish word. Don't look European. Oof. Maybe I should risk it. I'll just drop a pin in Brazil real quick, because I kind of agree with you. It was Bolivia. Well, it could have been so much worse. If I did pick Portugal, it would have been way worse. So, there is that. Told you, yeah. Bolivia? Yeah. I don't know much about Bolivia, unfortunately. I didn't see the sign, though, either. Oh, no. It's another... Oh, actually, we already have a sign, so could be worse. Oof. Well, I guess it's probably gonna be Middle East or North Africa. Or maybe like Israel. I know that is technically Middle East, but... Hebrew and Arabic? Yeah. What's this? Jerusalem. I fucking thought so. Alright, well, we're somewhere between Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. So it's gotta be... between Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. Let's see, we're on 446. So... which of these is 446? Here's 446. And there's like a split. Does this? Can we find out what road this is? 465. Okay, so it's where 446 intersects with 465. Here. Is that it? Is it that easy? Technically we're supposed to pick with the starting location, so it was back up here. Yeah, so it's a bit further up. There's multiple languages on the sign suggests close to a border. It could be, or it could be a country where they just speak, where they just have multiple like scripts. I think that's going to be right, though. I feel pretty good about that guess. See if, just to confirm, see if I can find where this splits into the 4467. Why do you stream when I'm at work? It is my plan to stream it more times, so that it's not... It's because I know that sometimes it's just simply not convenient for people. So that won't always be the case, but that just happens to be the easiest time for me right now. Well, hopefully I'm right. We'll see. I don't know. My god. Yeah, 124 meters. Not bad. Not bad, though. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling. All right. I'm a full-fledged American, so I'm geographically challenged. That's okay, I understand. Yeah, 5,000, hell yeah. It was just, the biggest hint was just finding the sign that was between Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. Then I felt like I had a pretty good shot. Ashens is streaming? Nice. Oh god. A dirt road, that's the least helpful thing we could have. Damn it. The educational system in the USA teaches us that other countries don't matter and shouldn't be worried about. No big deal. No big deal.
Tier 50 in what language did you write your Twitch bot?
Because I'm very, very extra, I wrote it in C++. I know you're not supposed to write a bot in that language, but it's the one I'm most familiar with, and I think it's pretty clean, what I wrote. So, yes. Oh, check the sun. That's a good idea. Well, it appears to be northwest, which would imply that we're south in the southern hemisphere. C++ Twitch bot. Like I said, I think it works. I think it works really well, and I think I've written it in a very clean way. I know you're not supposed to do that, but I think it. I'm happy with the code. In the middle of nowhere, I am, and I'm not getting any closer to not the middle of nowhere. Yeah, there aren't even really any signs to help. It's just a dirt road, which is extraordinarily unhelpful. I'm on my way to buffer over on your Twitch bot. No need. It's no. I'm using a lot of. Well, I'm using libraries that make it a lot easier, or that make it things like that a lot less likely. So I feel pretty good about it. But yeah. What language should a bot be written in? Generally, you'll find people will recommend either Python or JavaScript. Oh, the XP background. It kind of is. There we go. Scuffed Windows XP. If you don't write your Twitch bot in x86 assembly, do you even code, bro? It's a good point. I mean, Why not? It is a road. Correct. Jesus. I always hate when you go when you're this far down the road and you're just like, well shit, because should I have gone the other way? Because there's not enough time to go this far in the other direction anymore. Okay. Well, the sun is northwest, so what I get from that is that it could be rural arse Australia, or it could be rural arse like South Africa. I'm gonna guess South Africa. I know that, but for no real reason. Well, at least I got the longitude right, or latitude. Which one's which? Longitude, I think, is actually how you say it. North-south position. Yeah, I got the latitude right. For what that's worth. Python or JavaScript? I prefer JavaScript syntax, but Python has a lot more like libraries and stuff available, so yeah. Latitude is like for ladders. Correct. Alright, let's do one more of these. One more. And as we have learned, there is actually a point to updating the command. So, I've updated the command. Feel free to jump in and play another game of GeoGuessr. C#. Having top level programs is really cool, but also not cool. I do like C#. But at the same time, I tend to feel like I'm like, because I'm so familiar with C++ that I prefer, I'll still generally stick to C++. But C# is, from what I've used, is very good. JavaScript syntax for anything complicated gets goofy real fast. That is true. You're not wrong. I've coded a pretty complicated game in JavaScript, and it was not fun. Python is great because occasionally someone writes a nice C library, or someone nice writes a C library that has good speed for once. True. Yeah, I can see the benefits of Python. I wouldn't say I like writing it though. Yeah. It's cool because it makes some things simpler, but 9 times out of 10, you're just calling into an object anyway. Yeah, I getcha. Do a programming language tier list sometime. I don't know. I'm not so much. I'm not that big of a language zealot. Like, generally, you just use whatever makes sense. Like, if you need good performance, then use C++. If you need medium performance, then Java or C#. If you don't need good performance at all, then JavaScript or Python. That's kind of how I go. That's kind of my like ranking, more or less. I've been porting some C/C++ code to C# recently for Sonic 1 and 2. Whoa, you're porting Sonic 1 and 2 to C#? That's wild. I'm putting on another timer. I'll put in 1:30. So you have 1 minute and 30 seconds to click the link in chat or type in !GeoGuessr to join the game. Hello, welcome to the stream, Matthias Inheit. Thanks for joining. Oh, isn't that the title of the stream? Yeah, it's hello. Do the tier list today. Oh, I don't want to read someone else's tier list. I want to make a tier list. Oh god. I don't know if I've used all of these either. Yeah, a lot of these I haven't even written in, like Lua, I've never written anything in Lua. Swift, I've never written anything in. Ruby, I've never written anything in. I don't even know what's this. Oh, this is still someone else's tier list. I want to create my own. Don't worry, I'm not actually going to put all the effort into doing this. I'll start the game when the timer finishes. Latex I've never written in. Is this Rust? Never written in that. I don't know what this is. Bruh. Oh yeah, I think you do need an account to play. C, so sharp, only edgy people can code in it. True. SQL is not a programming language. Well, yeah, technically neither is HTML5. Oop.
Cheer 50 opinion on the NIM programming language.
The NIM programming language. Is that real? Thank you for the sub with the Bezos Bucks BC Berry Pie. Remember, it is always morally correct to take those few dollars away from Amazon and give it to your favorite streamer or me. I have not even heard of the NIM programming language. Thanks for the bits, but yeah, I'm afraid I can't provide a very useful opinion. Anyway, let us begin the game. Are you ready? Let's go. Let's go. Oh, Kotlin. I've heard of that. Isn't that the default Java or default Android language now over Java? Never written anything in it though. I love when the people are looking at the camera. They're like, huh? So this looks like it's probably somewhere touristy. It's got like ruins and shit, right? Do it after the game if you have energy. Yeah, I guess I can give it a shot. I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do a programming tier list. Yeah, this is definitely touristy. We're in like a tourist trap. Sadly, I don't have... I'm lacking any clues as to what this... where this could be. It looks vaguely like Asia. But I don't think... Or, yeah, Philippines or Thailand. That's actually what I'm kind of thinking. But that doesn't really... Sorry, allergies. That doesn't really... Oh, this should help. Get closer. Closer. Oh. That says Tokyo. Bruh. Sophia Mission Tokyo? Is that what am I reading that right? It's so blurry. What's the logo at the top? It looks like a country flag, which is certainly not Japan. If anything, it looks kind of like Thailand or Indonesia or something. It looks to me like a flag, but I don't know what flag. Do I want to go for it and say... do I want to risk Tokyo? I don't know. I'm gonna risk it, but... I feel like I'm making a mistake. Oh look, I think we're gonna run into some more civilization soon. Okay, no, I'm gonna say it's not Tokyo. I'm gonna say that sign said Tokyo for a completely different reason. I am instead going to say Cambodia. Yep, because that seems to be what the sign says. This ain't Nihongo. No, I know. It doesn't look like Japan at all. It just said Tokyo on that sign, and I'm like, well. Oh no. I wasn't too far. It was, this Cambodia. Okay, alright. Not bad. Not bad. How does Python and C agree that strings are arrays of characters, and Java's little quirky and demands strings be a class? I think C# is the same. And it can be very hard to wrap your head around one or the other if you've only learned how to use one of them. Round 2! Well done, Chuck Norris. Very green and kind of tropical. This has got to be like somewhere around that Asia sort of area again. Excuse the... Seems like we might be slightly below the equator. Slightly southern hemisphere. Oh, there's a sign coming up. This ought to help. Oh, well, that's Thailand again, isn't it? Or it could be Malaysia, I guess. No. No, that's gotta be Thailand. 100% Thailand. Three minutes is a lot of time. Yeah, I know. We're not necessarily playing super competitive. I'm just we're just kind of we're playing a little competitive, but mostly just having fun. Also, I think 3 minutes is the default, so I just haven't really messed around with any of the settings. Any chance of finding these places? Not really finding them. I can't. It can't be like Bangkok. It's got to be like somewhere around here. Wait, 20 and 43. Are those? Ooh, those might be like kilometers. I was hoping those would be highway numbers, but they might not be. Big fan, Matt. Sadly, I'm Brazilian. There's nothing sad about being Brazilian, but I'm glad. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, they might just be like kilometers to those destinations, so I might be completely wrong. You know, Control U doesn't it show source in a web browser? Bangkok. Emphasis on the cock. That did happen to me, like in... I've told this story before, but in primary school, I once, like, I was just hanging out with a friend, and they're like, hey, what's the capital of Thailand? And you're like, because you're like 10, you're like, I don't know. And then they're like, punch you in the balls, and they say, Bangkok! And you're like, you got me again. And then that's what happens. Oh, really up high. Yeah, I didn't get any kind of clues as to what part of Thailand. I just knew it was Thailand because of the language. Well, it could have been worse. Could have been worse. Oh my god. Whew. I found a sign. It had 7 seconds left. Damn. It's brutal. Speaking of brutal, I'm really not finding any signs or anything. Oh, it seems like we're definitely southern hemisphere. I could believe it's either south of Africa or south of South America. Bolivia, it could be. Oh, but these trees though are quite they're eucalyptus trees, aren't they? Oh, finally a sign. Bienvenidos. Bolivia. Oh, you're actually 100% right. Oh yeah, Cochabamba, Bolivia. That was surprisingly easy. Can I actually find this school? Someone in chat said it was a school. Well, it's not going to be the city center. It's going to be like outside of it, right? Doesn't look like Brazil. Yeah. Somehow, I feel like it's got to be more rural than this, but yeah, like it literally says on the sign where we are, so I'm not going to argue with that. Lee Carter is raiding with a party of 9. What on earth? Well, you're just in time to see this sheep's ass. I'm glad you're stopping by. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate that a lot. Hello. We're just about to find out how well I did. Oh wow! 3.3 Ks is not bad. I felt like it was going to be... Oh, well, it was more rural. It was further out of the city than I thought. I did think it was going to be further out of the city, but I didn't want to risk it. I didn't want to risk being somewhere else. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. We are halfway through this game of GeoGuessr. And yeah, it's it's going. Thailand. Yeah, I'm afraid not, but to be fair, the only thing that told me it was Bolivia was that one sign. So, how you doing? I'm doing well. Ooh, uh-oh. Oh, look at this. They're driving on the left. That actually makes things so much easier because there are so few places that drive on the left. Could be UK, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Singapore, and that's like it. But yeah, no, I'm doing well. We are guessing the geos. I'm playing with chat, and they are trying to throw me off. West of Australia or Chile? Oh, do they drive on... Well, no, it's definitely English. An English-speaking place. LTD? Oh, that is kind of an Australian thing to say, LTD. Oh, and roundabouts, quite Australian. Though, I don't think I saw these in Australia. Usually I find if the signs look a little bit Australian, but not wholly Australian, it's probably New Zealand. Did I miss I've missed a real telling sign? Did I? Like a street sign? UK, I guess. I don't think it's UK. I think it's probably New Zealand. It was on a building. Air New Zealand. Well, I guess that makes sense. I figured it was going to be New Zealand. Oh, nice. Okay, so we're in Auckland near the airport. Cool, good to know. That's not the airport, is it? That's like an army airport, I think. Are there any other airports? Am I being a bit thick? I guess I'm gonna have to risk it. I don't know if this is right. I feel like I might be missing something, but I think that's gonna have to be it. Whoa, someone was all the way in the UK. 28 Ks, alright, not bad, not bad. I knew that couldn't have been the airport, but for some reason this isn't, like, this one has an airport icon on it. And this says Auckland Airport, but it doesn't have the icon on it, so like I couldn't see it from a distance. Matt is being thick, sheesh. Yeah, I was being a bit thick, but honestly, 28 Ks, I'm not gonna complain. Not gonna complain. 12 meters? Holy shit, not bad. Not bad. Alright, final round, let's see. This is... Oh my god, okay. Hamburg, well, let's go with that. Germany. Hamburg, alright. So, let's assume that's correct. That's as far as it zooms in, I'm afraid. That's my first guess at the moment. Based on that truck. I'm not gonna say it isn't the UK. Alamanha in English. I don't know what that means. Oh, this should probably help. Well, it's definitely German. That is 100% German. Who's trying to tell me UK? Are you trying to throw me off? Are you trying to troll me on my twitch.tv? Protected building? Is that a thing in Germany? Hamburg Medical Campus? Is that what it said? Because that might show up on the map. Lots of blurred buildings. Oh, they have like laws against that? I could believe that, because it's probably a good thing, to be honest, but only not when we're playing GeoGuessr. Street View is basically non-existent over there because people kept suing and asking for blurring. Honestly, based. But I will say, not very helpful for us. TK Maxx? I didn't know they had those. It's true, this whole building is just blurred out. Oh, okay, so we're near an H line. I wonder if we can see that on the map. Is that what that means? Maybe I'm wrong. We're definitely in the city, so I feel like we're going to be close either way. Speaking of privacy, if I saw a streamer playing GeoGuessr and they spawned right outside my house, I don't know what I would feel. I've always wondered if I would like show up somewhere that I actually recognize because I'd been there before. I don't think that's ever happened because I guess there are a lot of places in the world, right? I would just drop the street. I don't know, I don't even know if I know the street that well, or if I'd be able to find it. 2.1 Ks? Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I cannot complain. I cannot complain about that. That's even closer than I thought it was gonna be. Like, I used to go to school around here. Yeah, that sort of thing. Well done, Chuck Norris. Congratulations. As we all know, we can't beat Chuck Norris. So... Oh yeah, me and Wii U Girl played GeoGuessr on stream once and the Eiffel Tower popped up. Yeah, and I was just like, well, that's not a challenge at all. Okay, well thanks for playing GeoGuessr with me. I think... I am now moderately interested in trying the programming tier list, so let's see how I feel about programming languages, and here's what I'm gonna do. Because I haven't programmed in every language, I'm I'm gonna designate F for like never used, and then that way things can only be. I know I could add another column, but it's fine. D will be at F. Assume that D is a total failure, and that then I'll write when things have never been used. Okay. MATLAB first place. Nope, never used. What do people use that in school? MySQL, I'd say that's pretty good. SQL can be a complicated language to write in, and MySQL is just like a variant of it. So I'm gonna call it a B. D is nuts. True. HTML5, I know, technically not a programming language, but honestly, I'm gonna say HTML is reasonably good. It's either S or A. Maybe I'll put it in A. And the reason why I say it's reasonably good is because it's not hard to write. There's not a lot of like rules that get broken in HTML5. Compared to things like JavaScript, there's a lot of rules that get broken, or even C++, I'd argue. But HTML, I think, is a very like consistent language. So that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm going to rank that relatively highly. From one of your videos, I've heard you absolutely love assembly. I mean, there are advantages of assembly. That's like, well, I guess it depends on exactly what we're ranking them by. Is this Fortran? I've never used Fortran. Never used Ruby. Never used Rust. Never used Swift. Visual. Oh god. R, is that the database language? Never used that. Is this PowerShell? I failed C++. The teacher wasn't super great. Yeah, that sucks. I've had some of those. It sucks when the advantage or the how well you learn is based on who's teaching in a way. There's even evidence to suggest that that teachers often are much more like, even they're much, not necessarily intentionally, but teachers often involve boys a lot more than girls in math class, and that like and that's kind of unfortunate, because then like people come away thinking they're bad at something when it might just be like the way they were taught it. This is PowerShell. I have to give PowerShell a D. I don't like PowerShell at all. I hate PowerShell. Fuck PowerShell. All my homies hate PowerShell. A human will... I didn't say... To be fair, I didn't say always write better assembly code. I said a human can write better assembly code than a compiler. Do you know why C+ doesn't exist? Well, C++ is just like... It's because there's the... it's only named like that because... if you want to increment a variable, then you do like variable plus plus. So the idea is that it's C++. It's incremented once. So that's why it's called that. It's not called that. There was never a C+ because it's kind of a pun. It's like kind of a programming pun. Unless you work for the government, most people haven't used Fortran in the last 30 years. Yeah, that's kind of what I figure. Hating on assembly is like being a mathematician hating basic algebra. Yeah, assembly, I find it hard to rank it because it's like, that's just how the computer works. So like, I could rank it as far as like approachability or ease of use, and, you know, arguably rank it low. But I feel like I can't, because it's just like, that's just how... Assembly is just how the processor works. It's not necessarily someone being like, I'm just gonna throw this shit together and call it a language. I guess in theory it's kind of like that because someone had to design the processor. But still, it also depends on the type of assembly. Like x86 gets an F- from me. I feel that, though x86 is by far the one I'm most familiar with. I'm gonna put C++ in S. Now, that's not to say that I don't think C++ has its problems and its inconsistencies, but what I do think is it's the most useful language to know, because you get a it's there's I feel like when you can write C++, like there's so many options available to you, and you can often apply that knowledge to other things as well. Whereas like learning PHP is harder to apply that knowledge to C, I feel. 8 billion calling conventions x87. You're not wrong. It's much easier to go through MIPS assembly because all the instructions are the same length. My inner masochist enjoys programming assembly. There's something very satisfying about getting something to work in assembly, for sure. But I will say that as far as like writing a lot of new stuff in it, I feel like there's no real point this day and age. So I'd probably put Java at B, and I'll put C# at A. I generally kind of consider Java and C# about the same thing. So in theory, they could go on the same row, but I feel like I like C# just a little bit more. The Java has more issues, I feel like. Write an assembly if you're paid hourly. True. Boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I write assembly on company time. Oh, never written Perl, never written Lua. Python. The only reason I think I'd put this in C, and the reason I wouldn't put it in D is because there's so much stuff available on Python, like so many libraries and shit like that. But I don't really love writing Python, I gotta say. The syntax bothers me a little bit. I hate Python. Yeah, the language itself is not something I love, but there are some things that are made very easy by using Python, because like you can just get HTTP or IRC servers off the shelf. You can just include those in your project, and yes, you have to deal with the shitty Python dependency management. That's an exercise in self-torture, but that's why I'm putting it in C over D. One only thing I don't like about Python is speed. That is a thing. That is another thing. What's this? I feel like I should know what this is, but I don't. Ruby fucking sucks. It's like Scratch, but worse. Really? I don't know anything about it. Really, genuinely don't. Apart from, isn't Homebrew the macOS package manager built with Ruby? That's Go. This is Go? Really? It's got this. Oh, it's like a gopher, isn't it? Right. Well, I have to say, I have used a bit of Go. And I haven't loved it when I've used it, but I could also believe that it's just my, like, unfamiliarity with it. I'm gonna say, here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be charitable and I'm gonna put it in never used, because the amount I've used it is actually very, 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 very small. Whenever the only reason I've opened a Go project like twice and been like, I don't get this, and then I close the project. So that's probably not fair to like rank it. So I'm gonna put it in never used. I found Python confusing since it's too flexible. I like my codes with rules and syntax. I kind of agree. I know that's kind of like an elitist position for me to take, but that's kind of why I like lower level languages, is because at least you kind of know what's going on all the time. It's kind of like driving a manual car over an automatic car. The automatic car will often be easier and more approachable, but like if you care about what it's doing, it's nice to have that kind of control over it. PHP, well, it's PHP has come under a lot of fire in recent years, I've noticed, and kind of rightfully so, because it's a little bit, it as far as consistency goes, it's very inconsistent. I have to Google like everything that I do with PHP. That being said, I'm gonna put it in C. I feel like I still write PHP for like web stuff, but I can also see why you wouldn't. I can see why I think it's not necessarily kind of like Python. I think it's not necessarily a fun language to write, but there's a lot of support for it. So that's why I will put it in C. C minus. Yeah, I could believe that. The reason, like Python, the reason I don't put it in D is because it can still be useful in like a pinch, right? Oh, never used LaTeX. Visual Basic. Technically, Visual Basic was like one of the first languages I learned because they built it into like Microsoft Office and shit. But why do I hate PowerShell so much? I really do hate PowerShell. That's just, to an extent, that is me being a Unix elitist, because I'm just like, well, if you were going to make something that was better than CMD, you could have just done Unix shell, which is kind of what they've done now with like Windows System for Linux. But basically, every time I'm forced to use PowerShell, I get pissed off. LaTeX is pronounced differently than latex. Well, how do you pronounce it? Is it latex? Because I don't know if I'm okay with saying that. JavaScript, right? Or which actually has almost nothing to do with Java. Oh, LaTeX. I don't respect that. Why did they spell it with an X if it's not supposed to be pronounced like that? JavaScript. I want to put this as a C as well. I like JavaScript more than Python, but I've had a lot of trouble with JavaScript. It's especially certain like browsers' JavaScript engines. What pisses me off about JavaScript is that it likes to multi-thread itself. You can write a function call, and then you can write a line after that. But if that line after that like checks something that this function is supposed to do, then your whole program might fall apart because this line might be run before this function is finished. And I find that very confusing. You're supposed to do like event-based things where you give that function a finish function, so when it's finished, then it calls that function. But it's so convoluted, and it's one of those, it's what I said about like, I like knowing what my code is doing, or I like being able to predict it. I feel like that should be a prerequisite for most coding languages, that you can predict how it's actually going to be run. But JavaScript kind of breaks that. So that's a whole async await thing, right? Maybe. I remember this happening just with normal functions. Like, it just it was such a mess, and it was like the singular cause of problems in one of the programs I was writing was that I would expect the order of execution and the flow to happen one way, and it would just happen a different way. So that's why that's what pisses me off about JavaScript. What up, nerds? Vibing while getting ready for bed. Oh shit, I joined to some hot takes. We are producing hot takes at the moment. This is a factory line assembly line of hot takes at the moment. Bring back Flash. I'm afraid that's another language I never actually wrote in. I liked Flash a lot, but by the time I was like really getting into programming, I liked Flash. Let me qualify that. I liked Flash as a cultural thing a lot, but I never actually wrote anything in Flash. JS is just very asynchronous. Right, that makes sense. And I don't like that. That was at least the biggest problem that I ran into. And as someone said in chat earlier, if you have to write anything big in JavaScript, it can get pretty silly pretty quickly. It kind of works as a scripting language like Python, but I would never write like a large application in Python, and I would never write a large application in JavaScript. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Is CSS on here? I don't actually recognize... Oh, this is Kotlin, correct? That would be a never used. Is this Unix shell? I assume this is like bash or sh. In which case, if it is, that gets an S from me. I use that shit all the fucking time, and it's so useful. Visual Basic. Oh, this is CSS? Oh, I think you're actually right. I think now I do recognize that. Yeah. What a weird symbol. I guess it's a 3, but it looks like it looks like some kind of Greek character or something like that. CSS. I don't love CSS, I gotta be honest. CSS is like... It's one of those languages where anything that I think should work doesn't work. And it's always such a pain to like... It's always an arm wrestle with CSS to actually figure out what you're actually... to figure out how to do something you're trying to do. So... yeah, not a programming language. Neither is HTML, but neither is SQL or HTML. But I'm actually tempted to put it in D, just because, like, not because the language doesn't work in theory, and it's not consistent in theory, but just because, like, when I think of CSS, I think of just pain. I think of self-torture. I think of having to Google things and it not working, trying exclamation point important and it's still not working. So I am very, I'm very tempted to put this in D. I think the phrase center a div will cause PTSD. Even me, like I'm not even a full-time web developer and I know what you're talking about. Oh, I'm gonna put it in D. Fuck it. This is hot take central. We're gonna do it. C. Okay. Arguably, C should go in S and C++ should go in A. I have very mixed opinions about this because C I know is like a much more pure language. I know that from experience that like. As far as things working as you expect, C is a better language than C++ by far. That being said, any large library or application can become very unwieldy in C. So it's So I could see it two ways. Like C++, I feel like is easier to write large stuff in than C. And in that case, maybe C++ should be an S and C should be an A. That being said, I also think C++ has a lot more like inconsistencies and weird things in the specification that could make me switch these. Why would anyone use C over C++? Generally, I would imagine it would be for like just compatibility. So like if you wanted C, if you wanted it to be compatible with other C stuff, or like if you wanted other people to be able to use your C stuff. I know that you can get like bindings between them. C is faster. C, I think, is also from like if you're writing a small thing, I think C is more. It's got really nerdy things, like it's got a more reliable ABI, and it's got like, I think it's, if you're writing like a simple program, I think C is much, I don't want to keep saying more consistent. I think the C standard makes a little bit more sense than the C++ standard, like the standard library and shit like that. Can't use assembly directly. Yeah, yes, you can write like inline assembly, but you can do that in both C and C++. You know why C++ is called C++? It's because it's the increment operator, because they were like C, it's like variable plus plus, and then it's like C++, it's one more C. So you have less dependencies. Maybe. I could believe that. That might be getting a little esoteric for me. What's your opinion on object-oriented programming? I like it. I prefer it where possible. However, when you're getting as low level, and I know C used to be considered very high level, but when you're getting kind of closer to the metal, I feel like if you don't need objects, then it can be useful to not work with them because it's not really what the processor is working with. But generally, I like objects. I like objects. So C++ is just CC. It's more like, yeah, that's C++ is C plus equals 1, basically. What are these two? I don't recognize these. Visual Basic. I'm going to put that in B. I think my memories of it are pretty fond. It's like the language I used when I was a kid to do random shit. So my memories of it are pretty fond, but I've never used it for anything serious, so I could conceivably drop that down to C if it started like causing me problems. Haskell and Lisp? Really? Well, I've got some great news. I've never used either of them. Lisp is surprisingly alright. What is Lisp? I frequently get Lua and Lisp confused, which is not good. I've heard about Lisp recently. I don't remember. So, yeah, I can't speak on those. S++. It's gotta be up there, just because I feel like the thing about assembly, and this, I know this makes me sound like an elitist, but the thing about assembly is it's hard to really blame the language. Like, you can get pissed off at maybe the processor design, but it's kind of like saying I feel like saying assembly is bad is like saying the sky sucks because I don't like looking at the color blue. It's kind of like that's just how it is. It just does what you tell it to. That's exactly right. I'd agree with that. Reality sucks. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel when if like I know I know that assembly is the hardest language. It's like the least approachable, but I feel like it's like assembly is the kind of language where you have to like rise to meet it. It's not about it rising to meet you. So for that reason, I'll put it in S. And I think this is about right, honestly. I'm trying to think if there's anything on here that like doesn't feel right. The wild card is Visual Basic. I feel like I haven't used that. I remember it. I might be grading it unfairly positively because it reminds me of like doing random shit as a kid. But definitely D tier. Here's what I'll say. Maybe I'll drop it down to C, just because I feel like then I'm not being biased towards it. Otherwise, I think that's probably about right. Scratch is like a programming language for kids. Is that on here? Is that is that the bird? Wait, where'd this bird come from? Oh, it's latex. LaTeX. I'll try to remember to say it that way. Couldn't see the words on the background. Objectively accurate tier list. True. I guess I'll have to save it. Oh, I don't want to log in. Okay, well, that's my tier list. Thanks for watching my TED Talk. I might call that a stream. I might go get some lunch. Answer my question? I didn't see your question. Oh, do I know Balti? I don't. I have no idea what that is. Basically, the languages on this list, I'd say anything D and up is languages that I'm relatively familiar with. Visual Basic is like, but I could be familiar with it. I could download it just to have a copy of it, sure. But other than that, I don't think I really know any languages other than that. What? No, HTML. HTML is on here. It's the big five though, so it's not very clear. It's like a programming language, but for young teens. Interesting. No, I don't. I've never used it. You get lunch and I go to sleep because it's midnight for me. Hell yeah, I love sleeping. Yeah, it's a good point though. Yeah, for people in Europe, it's getting late. So yes, have a good rest of your evening, everyone. I guess I'll go find someone to raid. If you like low-level languages, give Rust a try. I guess I should try it. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Oh, I'm gonna raid Thai Tuesday. I like Thai Tuesday. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see you all sometime later. Thai Tuesday. He's doing a subathon at the moment. He's super funny and does a lot of meme shit. He's currently apparently playing Winnie the Pooh's Home Run Derby. So enjoy that. And I'll see all you guys next time. Probably Wednesday or give or take a day, Tuesday or Thursday. I'll let you know in the Discord, typing !Discord if you're not in there already. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye. Yes, let's go.